Well, this is the twin flame reading for this week. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see what's going on in the masculine's mind space and in the feminine's mind space. And I hope you all went well through this week. There were some shifts of energy, and these shifts are still going on. And it won't stop for a while, because we opened the portal on the 8/8, and there everything started to shift. It started already with the moon and the sun eclipse in this earlier this year. So from that moment on, everything, every relationship, everything in your life that needed a change, you couldn't get underneath it anymore. It had to totally flip over. So the old ways we used to have, about our behavior, about what we're thinking, about how we're acting and reacting, need to be changed. So let's see what's going on in the masculine. And thank you. I hear the way the masculine does his things is his way, and how we respond to it is our way. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's also almost becoming a personality trait. When you're going in this emotion, and you keep repeating it, and you keep repeating that emotion, it will become a behavior, and you will you're repeating that behavior, and you're repeating that behavior, it will come a personality trait. So when the divine masculine isn't aware of this, and he is doing the things what he is doing, and you see the same pattern over and over again, that means that there is a personality trait in it, that it became a part of his personality, how he reacts on certain emotional triggers, and that's it. It's just a way of acceptance. If it's acceptable for the divine feminine, that's up to her. How is she going to react on it? Is she going to react always the same as she did? Or is she evolved in it and worked on herself and left that old trigger pattern behind her? And I see that the divine feminine worked on herself, but I also see the divine masculine worked on himself. So in this space, they can come together in this safe space for each other. It could be that they are mirroring each other's pains or triggers. And then I hear, be aware of not getting in a trauma bonding, because that's probably what a lot happens in a relationship. In the third dimensional realm, you get into a relationship that is trauma bonded, and then all the nasty things are coming up when the things are not dissolved, So that's what I needed to say. Okay, thank you. What's going on in the divine masculine mind space? Restore, rest and restore. It could be that, and this is coming up all the time for the divine masculine. It could be that there was a lot of emotion, a lot of hectic, a lot of verbal aggression, or triggers, and hard work, and it's time for him to, you know, go to the dragons and sleep with the dragons, to restore yourself, to get, it's time, you need a time out, you know, you need a time out, to nurture yourself, and all the shamanic signs will come to you. You know, everything, every sign that you want to know or that you want to experience, is that you need to have time for yourself, nurture yourself, take care of yourself, and that all the signs of all the signs are coming. You know, it could be that the divine masculine was, you know, going on and on and on and on and on, and dropping from one project into the other project, and now it's time to get back and rejuvenate. Because if you're getting too tired, and that's how it works for me anyway, if you get too tired, the universe will say stop. You know, you have to work on some things for yourself, and to clear some stuff within yourself, and that is what is needed for you. Okay, I feel an energy coming in that doesn't belong here, so sorry guys. It's an energy that is heavier, lower density, and that is a spirit energy that doesn't belong with me, and just sending him back with blessings and love where he belongs, okay? Out of my aura field. So, what's in his heart space? Synchronicity. In his heart space, opportunity and divine timing, opening to chances and divine outcomes. So there is a synchronicity in his heart space, between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and he feels that in his heart. He knows in his heart space, oh yeah, there's a synchronicity here, and and it could be that it is totally different than it was before. You know, I have a feeling that there is more. And that's what I feel with the divine feminine. She's dropping more in her love. She's dropping even more in her love space, and anchoring it in her heart, and feel that things are being released because of the synchronicity of the divine masculine. So it could be that the divine masculine sees also the synchronicities, that he maybe feels those synchronicities with the divine feminine. And it could be that they're not together, or that they're you know, away from each other. But what one is going through is, if the feminine is going through something, the masculine is going through something, and it could be on the same time, you know, that they're purging and then releasing. But it's the synchronicity that also brings them together, and that they discover, okay, by going through it, and you're going through your own emotions, and going through your you know, your weaving the stars, right? And looking in that synchronicity of the ball, you know, it's the spirituality is there, you know, the spirituality, the connection is there. And you know, it's also the priestess, you know, that is holding the mirror glass,
you know, where you can see into the future. And yeah, there is this the divine timing, because this energies needs to be released. And if I go, if I personally go through something, you know, and there is this release going on, then I feel it in my body. I feel like things letting go, unraveled. It's like when you have this an emotion, you know, that is stuck in your body, and it's like this, and then there is healing coming up. You feel it, you feel that release, like the getting out, and then it flushes out. So it's really beautiful if you're in that space and you can release that. And the divine masculine probably goes through the same thing also, of releasing of emotions. And what I hear, if the divine masculine isn't rested enough, he is getting in his shadow side. He's getting grumpy. He's getting in this energy of moodiness, and that's when it's time to restore. It's time to restore. It's almost like the divine masculine gets overwhelmed by all the energies, and then that is projected onto him, and then he starts to project it on the divine feminine or his environment, and he just needs to be alone, you know. If there is no response or reaction coming from your divine masculine, know he's going through a rough time, and just know that you know, he needs time and space. That's all. It's not, has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with the divine feminine. So he is taking his time, and you know, he knows in his heart space there's this synchronicity, there is this same kind of energy, um, you know, and there are opportunities with the divine feminine in divine timing, and he's just holding it in his heart. That's all. But he needs to rest, you know, give that mind a rest, you know, because that mind creates in that if they're overwhelmed, and if they're um, under attack or whatever, um, it creates an illusion in their mind. They're going to see if it could be his perception that getting blown out of proportion, you know, and that's not where he needs to go. He just needs to go back to that center and that heart space and let it all go. Okay, so what's going on? How does he see the divine feminine? How does he see the divine feminine? Because he's observing the divine feminine. And how does he see her? As a crystal child. She's a crystal child, and she is her natural core. She's pure, she's innocent, and she is removing all falsehood, and she's a seer. So when she is removing all falsehood, she's removing all falsehood from her environment. She is getting in that innocent space of that diamond light, you know, that diamond transparent energy that is opening up, that's pure, that is that is her natural core. And most of the people don't see it with her, because she is not showing any of it to the outer world. And it could be that she is protecting herself for certain people. And the divine masculine sees this. You know, that she is protecting herself um, against falsehood, against people that are not genuine with her. That's why she's closing off, because she and that's the thing. um, you don't have to be vulnerable around people you don't trust. Why would you be vulnerable around people that you don't trust and that you see there is falsehood, or that there is um, attacks coming up? Because the divine feminine is a seer, and she's very intuitive, and she sees already what will happen. So it's easier for her to protect herself from what is coming. So, and divine masculine is seeing that. And she's not being vulnerable um, because it could be that there is no deep communication, or there is no um, safety. That's it. There is no safety to get in that space, because she feels the tension from the divine masculine, or she feels the you know, the overwhelmed energy, or the energy of you know, projection, aggression. And she is, you know, I'm not going to put my vibration in there. You know, I'm there to help and support you in any way I can, but I'm not getting closer to you. I'm not getting in a relationship, or in a union with someone who has those issues. Okay, she's not going there. She says, okay, you know, you have your life, I have my life, and you go your way and you do your thing, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm perfectly happy whatever happens. So that's how the divine masculine sees the divine feminine, that she is that purity of light, that she is you know, yeah, I see the Herkimer diamond, you know, that beautiful Herkimer diamond that is transparent, then, and that is also on her third eye, that she sees through everything. You know, it's and still keeping her purity and her natural, and staying in her natural core. She's not letting herself, because she did so much work on herself, so much work on everything what concerns the twin flame journey, and about herself, removing old energies from the ancestral lines, you know, that will help her to evolve in a higher frequency, so she can meet eventually, you know, that partner that she can feel safe and can open up about. So that's what's going on, and that's what the divine masculine sees, that she is that there is that purity within her, that is giving the good directions, giving and going her own directions. Could be that she is and she has an elven energy, or a fairy energy around her, or an angelic energy around her, that he really appreciates. Okay. He knows that she's a crystal child and a star seed. So for the divine feminine, family of light. sign of guidance, initiation, and ancient wisdom is coming through. You know, she's in alignment with her soul family, her star family, and she is getting guidance from above, what to do, where to connect with, next steps, next guidance, and she is listening to that. So it could be that she is meeting with her family of light, where she is connected with, that she can share the wisdom and share the guidance with. And that's in her mind space, you know. Okay, I'm coming together in my family. I'm connecting with my light family, with the star energy, and I see the signs, and I get the signs that that's needed for me to evolve and to move upwards. So, well, guys, if you like this video and you're still watching, give me a thumbs up so the algorithm of the video will be activated and it can help more people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this video is not for everyone, because it's probably a vibration. Not everybody is on that frequency, but the ones who are on that frequency, they most of the time they keep on hanging on. Wow, divine masculine is in the divine feminine's heart space. Rising of truth, gentle power, and true strength. That's in the divine feminine's heart space. So it's connected with her divine masculine energy. So her divine masculine energy in her heart space is rising of the truth, gentle power, and true strength. So the true strength that the feminine possess at the moment is a divine masculine energy within her. And that's so beautiful. So that means that the divine feminine and the divine masculine within herself is in balance. And then this true gentle power is coming out, and this cup of love, if you see it here, this cup of love is being offered. Let me see that side. Yeah. And it's the playfulness, it's the dolphins, you know, they're playing with each other. They're you know, it's going in flow. And that's a beautiful, beautiful energy to be in that heart space of true strength. And it's a very gentle power. It's not that you say it's a weak power, you know. It's gentle and it's truth. It's coming from a truth, speaking the truth. There it's coming from, and that is giving opportunities for the divine masculine. Healing. That is what the divine feminine sees for the divine masculine. That he needs healing. Gentleness of love, realignment, and transformation. So that is what's going on at the moment for the divine masculine. So that's also why he needs to restore. because if you don't restore and you go on and on and on, you don't get time for your healing. And the gentleness of love from the divine feminine towards the divine masculine will get him in the healing, will get him in realignment with his heart, you know, as we all know, and that there's no change in that. In everyone there is this energy of how do you call it, protecting yourself after a heartbreak, you know, when you're really going through a rough heartbreak, you know, automatically you shut yourself off because you don't want to get hurt anymore. And then you're going on that healing journey, on this twin flame journey. And when everything is coming back in balance and is healed, then union can come together in divine timing. But what I see, there is this it gives the transformation, that gives the transformation, you know. And I also see a lot of energies that is not even healing from the inside, but is receiving, the masculine receiving healing from the outside, that is transforming the emotions within. So it's and then he can go back in alignment again, you know, with his heart, his mind, and his soul. So he knows exactly, you know. And I also feel testing the waters. That's what I hear. Testing the waters. Testing the waters if the divine feminine is healed, you know. And it's yeah, I don't see it as I don't see it as testing the divine feminine. I see it, if you go beyond it, it's testing the karma, testing the, if the entities are still there, if the entities that are triggered on that emotions are still there, and if those emotions are healed, and these wounds are healed, then the energies behind it will disappear. And that can be from an ancestral line, you know, that there are ancestors coming your way because you have the same wounds as they have, and they feel comfortable with you, so they keep you in that attachment. And it could be for the divine masculine that there is a grandmother energy with him, you know, that went through the same abandonment as the masculine went through. And that will that energy will go through into the generation of the next person that comes along. So he could feel abandoned, scared, anxious, um, not having any courage, going down back in depression, or slipping away. And it could be that is the grandmother energy, and it could be can have to do with loss, war, that she lost her husband, that you know, that there were things going on in her life that she was fearful of, and almost weren't able to do it on her own. So that is coming back in the divine masculine's energy. You know, it can weave some of those wounds can weave together. And as he realized that those energies and those entities are not his genuine emotions, that it's not his, but that's just connected because, you know, of protection or about keeping those wounds alive, you know, in a family ancestral line, then there needs to be healing done there. And when that healing is done and he's going to that transformation, that realignment will be there with his original um, soul essence, and then he can move forward. Then he can, you know, he doesn't feel that pull backwards anymore, but then he can move forward and he can make steps in his life. So I think that a lot of beautiful healing is being done for the divine masculine outside of himself. So he gets guidance and he gets that healing from the outside world with from a gentle power, and he gets that love. He will feel that love towards him. Okay, so what will support the divine masculine? What will support the divine masculine? Inner child attunement. Well, I don't think I have to say much about with that, because I just channeled it. I don't have to do it all over again. Inner child attunement. Go to your inner child. Go within. Listening to yourself, and also have this loving parenting towards yourself. You know, go within and nurture that inner child. I also have a feeling that inner child attunement needs to be connected with the feminine. That now he discovers the nurturing that he got from the divine feminine, and he pushed her away because of that nurturing energy, because of that love, because of that loving connection, because he don't want to go there and he don't want to feel it. So but it will support him. It will support him, his transformation. So he can't handle. Oh, that's interesting. I hear he can't handle her love. He can't handle her love. He can't handle her love. And when he can't handle that love, wow, it's almost he gets numb. He numbs himself, and that's a very interesting. But then he also numbs his inner child, and that inner child needs that loving and that nurturing. So this is an interesting one, because he's on one side he's pushing away the divine feminine because she's loving and caring, and that's what he wants, and on the other side he's pushing her away because it comes too close. That's an interesting one. It's the, but you know, if he goes within and he is nurturing and listening to his inner child and be a loving parent towards his inner child, that will support him. So sometimes it's yeah, sometimes it's a different energy, you know. Okay. So how does he see the relationship with the divine feminine? It's telepathy, sharing space, sharing heart space together. Telepathy, co-creation, communication, and honoring each other. So they're sharing that space of the heart. It's about honoring a space together, and that's so beautiful, because I get my divine masculines over here next week, and that's before they came last time. That card came out also, and they have this telepathy together. They co-create together. They have great communication, and they're honoring each other. Divine feminine is honoring them as masculine, and divine feminine and the divine masculine is honoring them, her as divine feminine. So the honoring and the loving communication and co-creating and working together, that will help them in this relationship. Okay, I'm looking for scissors, but I don't know if it's still here. Yeah. I have to cut my my candle, because the flame is going like shh, and getting too much smoke out of it. Okay. So they're sharing a space together. They're sharing the heart space. There is co-creation. They want to co-create with each other. Communication is great. They're not offended. You know, it's a very loving and straightforward, truthful communication. Not going around the bushes. You know. And they honor each other. Divine masculine and divine feminine honor each other, and that's really beautiful. So it's very interesting that this card is coming out, because last time it came out the same way, and we shared all together, space together here, and it was beautiful. But it's also sharing the heart space, sharing the same heart, sharing the space, same emotions, maybe same childhood, and so that's beautiful. What supports the divine feminine? Breathing. You need to ground yourself, feel all the sensations in your body. It's about purity, clarity, and expression of your feelings. And that will support her. Do your breathing exercises. I don't know if the divine feminine does breathing exercises, but she needs to do her breathing exercises. That will make her feel grounded. And the sensations in her body will disappear. The purity will come up, and you get more clarity, and you can express your feelings more. Because when there is this, when you're breathing and you're doing your breathing exercises, you know, the emotions don't get attached into your body, so it's flowing in your body, and it's more easily to express yourself without the emotions getting triggered in your system. Okay, so how does she see the relationship with the divine masculine? How does she see? Yeah. Rainbow child. He's a rainbow child. He's a rainbow child. And he is unstoppable. He's a new earth builder. He's multi-talented, and there is a miraculous alchemist within him. So that is really totally opposite of the restoration, restore energy. And a spirit says restore, but the divine masculine and the feminine sees that he is this rainbow child and that he's unstoppable because he wants to make himself ready for the new earth that is coming around, that he can be self-sufficient, that he is not on his own, you know, that he can hold that space, that, you know, divine feminine, divine masculine doing different things in that, but they're also in synchronicity with it. It's so weird because on one side it's they're doing the same thing, but they're doing it different, but there is still that synchronicity there. And he's unstoppable. He's this new earth builder, and he's multi-talented. That's what the divine feminine sees. He's multi-talented, but he doesn't see it from himself. And there is alchemy here. There is this chemical energy between them. Yeah, that's really beautiful. If those two energies would come together and they do work together, it's huge. It's huge shifting for the collective. It's a huge shift for the collective, because the divine feminine knows when she heals herself, she's not only doing it for herself but also for the whole collective. For the whole collective, what is changing. So and if you work on yourself, you know, then you're changing not only yourself, but you're changing the whole collective and the people around you. So the children after you don't have to do that work that much because they are more in balance and more stabilized. Okay, because you don't give that trauma energy through. You know, if the trauma is be healed within you, you know, it's also be healed in your child. And that was the same with our parents. What we are doing now, we healing the past and the future. You know, you're doing it for your children, your grandchildren, and your children to come. You know, that's where you're doing the work for. You know, and yes, to get yourself in balance, but because we doing our if you're going back and you see the evolution, you know, we're in a much better space now. You know, there is still trauma, but it will, the more we work on ourselves, the less your children in the future have to do the work. Okay. And then eventually many generations later, there will be just love, you know, and we are heading towards a loving society, not about a fighting society, not with evil, with getting rid of the evil, well, the darkness is already done, it's already gone, you know, but also the loving connections, more harmony, honoring each other, working with each other, co-creations, sharing, you know, that is where we're heading towards. And who wants to live in ease and peace, you know? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? So yeah, let's see what the universe has to say about it. And what is the what has the universe to say about the union between the masculine and the feminine energies? Returning home. Wow. Returning home, transition, life between lifetimes, and a loving welcome for both of them. A loving welcome, returning home. It could be that they're returning home to each other, you know, that they feel home with each other. You know, it's the 44 cards, it's the master number, you know, it's the transitioning between life, between the third dimensional realm and the higher realms. And they know that when they're in that space of returning home to source, that they are home, that there is guidance, that there is love, that there is compassion, that there is nurturing, and that they be held, that they're being understood, you know, and they get the guidance what their next steps are, you know, and being and coming as together as masculine and feminine. It could be feeling like home, you know. I'm feeling home with you. I'm feeling at ease. I'm feeling safe. I can express myself, and there is more to explore. So I have a feeling that you know, and they both are connected to that realm. They both are connected to that realm. Okay, so the divine feminine and the divine masculine returning home in the to the source, and that's probably also where they connect in the fifth dimensional realm. That's where they connect. When they try to connect in the third dimensional realm, they're locked. They can't talk with each other, because in the third dimensional realm there are too many traumas and too many wounds where you know what's hurting. And when they going above it and they're going to the fifth dimensional realm and diving then in that frequency, you know, there is healing. And that's what the whole collective is doing more and more at the moment, you know. And don't take everything too personal. You know, if the divine masculine is going through a rough time, you know, it has nothing to do about you. And when the divine feminine goes through a rough time and she's closing herself off and she's moving away, you know, that has nothing to do with the divine masculine. So don't let your mind tell you stories that are not true. You know, it's all an illusion. The mind is an illusion. And I tell that, I have to tell that every time, every time. Okay. And there's another card. Oh my gosh. Cheerful energy here. Whoops. Wow. Well, let's see what's going on for the divine masculine. Masculine forgiveness. You need to forgive the divine feminine. You need to forgive yourself. And without forgiveness, things can't grow. You know, if you did something wrong, apologize. That's the only thing what you need to do, apologize. And I know it's for the divine masculine sometimes hard to apologize for the things that happened. You know, forgiveness is not only, is not confessing that you were wrong. It is, forgiveness is more that, you know, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for getting hurt, or forgive yourself that you did the things, why you did the things, you know. You need to forgive yourself for that. You don't need to forgive it towards the divine feminine, because you need to forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you know, there is no growth within you, but also within the divine feminine. I see no chance on restoring that place. But so you have to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made, and also that's also for the divine feminine. You know, forgive yourself for the mistakes you made in your life, and come to peace, to ease with that, because after all, forgiveness is between you and God, or goddess, or source, or whatever you want to call it. It has nothing to do with the other person. It has to do with between you and God, because source knows, you know, and that's where the judgment is not from source. The punishment, or I don't want to call it punishment, but the karma is not coming from the divine feminine, or not coming from a person. The karma is coming from source, you know, that is giving you that agony where you have to live with. And you need to release that for yourself. Otherwise, you keep on repeating the same pattern, you know. And it's not about oh, she did this and he did this. No, there is a bigger picture that is called the karmic collective that's playing out between good and evil, and that's the whole thing. And the purity within your heart, you know, if you go from the purity of your heart, then you will never harm another person. But if you're going in your mind and you're making up all these stories in your mind, you're going to believe it, and then the other person is fault, and that's not it. You're going beyond it, and how the other person accept it, you know, that's a totally different thing, because one person can feel that they're being judged by the other person, but that's also your mind, you know. Did you ask them? Do they judge you? No, it's most of the time it's the perception of your mind that thinks that you're being judged, or you know, it has to do with your emotions. It has to do that you have the feeling that you're not good enough, and that somebody else speaking their truth, what they see or what they feel with you, is not accepted by the energy behind it. That's all. And you don't want to hear it. And that's the ego, that's the illusion, that's, you know, that's all. And because in fact, there is no judgment. You can feel the judgment of someone else, but that's how you deal with it. It has nothing to do with that person. It has all to do with you. Do you feel judged? You know, you don't have to feel judged if you're in a loving communication. most of the time you feel judged because there is no loving communication, because it's all from the mind, and then the manipulation and the manipulation is coming in, and that's what's happening with the divine feminine in the 3D and with the divine masculine in the 3D. You know, they blaming each other, you know, this kind of thing. Then there is no spiritual evolvement, there's no awareness. So if you level up, and then you have to bring it also in practice, you know, you also have to bring it in practice, so that you don't judge someone because it's their actions, you know, and how they perceive it. So if you don't care, you don't care, but you can say something about it, you know. Oh yeah, I'm feeling judged. That's what the whole world is saying now. You're judging me. No, that's here. Somebody feels judged. That's something different. And when you had the feeling that you being judged or criticized or something else, then there is an emotion coming up within you that you don't feel good enough about yourself. So what you need to do is to take care of yourself and have more self-love. You know, it has nothing to do with what another person says, you know, whatever, you know. It's if you're going in that spiritual realm, it's a healthy way of being detached from that kind of communication, because the more you're going up in that higher realm, you know, the less you feel about what somebody else says, because if you trained your own self-love and your self-nurturing, then you know that you are good enough. Then you know it's not you, you know. If you love yourself, you can handle everything, because everything is most of the time a projection from the mind. And if it comes from the heart space, you feel it. There's a totally different energy. There's a totally different energy. So, you know, forgive yourself and let go of everything what happened in the past, because, you know, you can't change it anymore. You know, live in the now, and in the time where you're going at, you know. See a little bit ahead. Don't go there totally, because then you're or far in the future, because then you're getting in anxiety. But stay in the now, stay in your breathing, stay in that energy space of your heart, and you feel that heart expansion. You feel it become bigger and bigger and bigger. So forgive yourself, you know. That's it's between you and God, not between you and someone else. Okay. Divine masculine, only time will tell, you know. Only time will tell if you and the divine masculine or the divine feminine is ready for you, if you're coming together, if that forgiveness ever will happen in your life, you know. Only time will tell, you know. It has to do with surrender yourself and forgive yourself. um, um, you know, you divine masculine, um, maybe the divine masculine needs to forgive someone else, you know, and apologize. Most of the time they need an apology. That's more than what is needed. But if you really hurt someone consciously, you know, then you know, then you know, put out there, put your emotions on the table and don't start blaming right away, you know, but you did this. Yeah, well, no, it's not. It's about you. It's about you forgiving someone else, you know, and that's it. Um, and you can forgive someone, but you don't have to be in contact anymore because they hurt you too much. You know, it could still be go your own way, I go my way, you go your way, we coming together, we can have coffee together, but you know, I don't want you in my life anymore because I have my own life and I'm perfectly fine with it. So that's it. That's it. But then you have to also feel, um, are you able to do it? Most people can't. Most people can't because they're keeping that grudge. They're staying in that low vibration. They're keeping that grudge. They're keeping that energy, and it takes a long time to heal. I know it takes a long time to heal, you know, and you can't rush that healing because one, perfect. Um, you can't rush that healing. You can't rush your own healing, and you can't rush the healing of someone else. Okay, so it's all in divine timing, and that's only time will tell. You know, only time will tell if that ever you know, uh, if the divine feminine gives you, you know, that chance again in her life. Okay, what is for the divine feminine? Protection. Wow, I just channeled that. Protection from the divine masculine. You know, maybe feels too vulnerable, is too much of things happened that she can open herself, and she's not able to surrender to the divine masculine because in the past too many things happened, and she's protecting herself to get from getting hurt from the divine masculine. So being naked and vulnerable in front of a masculine, and they mistreat you, or they take you for granted, or they um, how do I say it? There is abuse or taking advantage of your vulnerability. That's something where the divine masculine needs to work on, and the divine feminine needs to work on. That those are wounds that needs to be healed, and that energy is coming forward. So she is rather protecting herself, you know, and that's what normal in the third dimensional realm, right? In the fifth dimensional realm, you can open yourself because you're in a safe space with the masculine. So if there is anything like that going on in the and I know every feminine had to deal with this. Every feminine is, you know, is taken advantage of a masculine, and maybe the whole masculine collective has to give a forgiveness towards the divine feminine for abusing her verbally or physically, you know, and that's what's going on. That's why there is that protection, because it has to do with the love from the feminine towards the divine masculine that's coming from the heart space, and that is genuine. There is no manipulation behind it. And when then she opens up and the divine masculine is abusing it or comparing it with someone else, then those are huge, huge wounds. And when those wounds are healed, the divine masculine has to feel, or he will feel that energy that is shifted within her, and then shame is coming up, and then the guilt is coming up, and then there is aggression towards her, you know, so that all that things, as the divine feminine heals herself, um, divine masculine get that aggravation, because he needs to, and it's coming again to that forgiveness, you know, you have to forgive yourself. Okay. So what is the universe saying? Oh no, what is the divine feminine going to do about it? Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. Wow, that is exactly what's happening between the divine masculine and the divine feminine at the moment. So the divine feminine is forgiving the divine masculine, or there was already forgiveness for the divine masculine, and now he just has to forgive himself. And the playfulness, the laughter is the best therapy. They having fun together, they playing together, you know. Remember that love is the greatest healer. And if you don't want to get healed, or you're still in that self-punishment, you know, then you're not ready for forgiveness, you're not ready for divine feminine, because you're in that victimhood, you're in that victim mode. So if the divine masculine goes out of that victim mode, by let himself be healed by the divine feminine, then everything will balance out, and then the transitioning is coming, and then the emotions are falling away, and everything is okay. So yeah, wow, this is amazing channeling, guys, because I didn't see this one coming this way. Okay, so what is what is the universe saying for the divine feminine and the divine masculine? Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Well, that's exactly what I said, you know. Divine masculine has his life, divine feminine has his life, and they meet in the middle, they heal each other, and you know, there is flow. And that's the most beautiful thing that there is. And if there is no healing possible between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and there's no communication, those wounds will not heal. Then you have to do the process by yourself, and that takes a long time. I know it takes a long time, but you will come there, you will be there eventually, because with guidance from your source, guidance from your from your realm and your guides and your source, when you're going back home to source, here going back home to source, everything will be healed, you know. And it's not coming from the mind space, it's directly coming to your heart space. And that's the most beautiful thing, because you feel your heart expanding and expanding and expanding. And what goes in needs to go out, right? So most of the time when you're healed and you get so much love and light from the universe in your heart space, you bring it outside into the world. And that's what's happening, you know. If you say, I'm overwhelmed in my mind by so many projects and so many things that is going on, you're not meditating enough, you're not getting rest enough, you're not nurturing for yourself. So take that restorement, and take the time for yourself and rest. Okay. And if you want a private reading for your divine masculine, you know, there are free divine masculine readings on YouTube. So let me know. And the private readings are open. Next month in Holland, there is a mediumship evening. So if you want to have contact with your beloveds that already passed over, then you're more than welcome to come in and look in the description box below, or on my Facebook page. There is this timetable and location where it will happen. Okay, so there are 2 places. It will be held in Almere and in Emmeloord. So that's for this, and I want to say we're 3 top mediums that are presenting that evening, and they will get you back in contact with the things that you need to know or want to know, or get you into contact with your beloveds. So so much for today. I wish you a very nice weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and spend a lot of time in nature, and be playful and loving for yourself. Okay, bye bye. See you next time. It's not